I feel like the problem in the dating pool nowadays is because there are two groups of people within the date that make up the dating pool, and I really want to touch on that in this video to give my 2 cents on what I think is the biggest problem or what's causing the dating pool to be kind of mucked up, and what's making people feel like love doesn't exist anymore. But let's touch on that in this video, and I'm going to try to sum it up as quickly as possible. There are two groups of people that make up the dating pool nowadays. You have the people who are like looking for their one person, who are actually out here vetting, who genuinely want to find their one person, who are out here dating with intention. And then the second people are what I like to call the hyper transactional people, because these people are generally just looking for what they can get out of someone, or be what they can get out of a date. Those are the two groups of people, and I feel like there's a very basic solution to this, but let me just touch on and elaborate on these two groups of people. The first group are the individuals who people say, oh, you're such a good man, you're such a good woman, you just got to find someone who's going to value you for you, who's going to appreciate you for this, yada yada. Like someone who's not going to waste your time, someone who's actually let's say you meet some guy, you're like, okay, I really like him, let me give him a try, and then he actually moves with intention because he's also a lover guy, and he says he was like, hey, you want to get coffee, you want to go to a restaurant, you want to get lunch or something, or maybe we can just do dinner or whatever. Not a full-blown date, but you guys are actually moving with intention because you guys are looking to find your person. You're actually looking to settle down. That's the first group of people. You're actually looking for to build something strong, an actual bond with somebody. And then you have the people who I like to consider hyper transactional individuals, because all dating is transactional to an extent, but these are the people who are really just in the field for what they can get. These are the guys who are doing the bare minimum. They're taking you to Chili's, and then they actually, oh, so you want to go back to my place after this, yada yada. Their end goal is they're gonna do the bare minimum to see how soon they can get the butt cheeks, or the women who are like, oh, well, I just want to be taken on a date, or I just want you to splurge on me, or I just want you to do things for me, but I don't actually like you and you don't actually like me. I just want these things done to me. Those are those are the hyper transactional people that I consider those are the people who I consider hyper transactional. I feel like if those two groups would just date just each other and they didn't try to intertwine with each other, the hyper transactional people aren't dating the people who are looking for love, the lover boys and lover girls, and then lover boys and lover girls aren't chasing after people who are hyper transactional. And you can usually tell who someone who's hyper transactional is before you start talking to them. A lot of y'all can't tell. And I also want to call out the people who do date the other side, knowing damn well you don't want it serious. You wrong for that. If you know you don't want it serious with that woman, and you're not going to lock it down with her, and you just string her along and you don't want nothing serious, you wrong for that. Leave her alone. Go date somebody who is hyper transactional. Just do that. You a grown man. Just go be a grown man and be honest about what you want to do. Don't string someone along when you don't want them. In the same breath, if you're a woman and this dude is trying to court you, he's trying to take you out, he's trying to get to know you, he's inviting you to different spots or whatever, and he really genuinely wants to get to know you to see where you're gonna go, because within a month or two, for me, it takes me about a month to know for sure if I would date someone as be exclusive. It takes me a month personally, but I know what I like. But if someone like me is pursuing you and I'm saying, hey, let's start with dinner, and then we go from dinner, we might do a FaceTime or phone call for maybe 2-3 days, and then by then I'm planning a date or at least dinner. After the first dinner or lunch, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm enjoying this, let's plan an actual date. Now maybe we have a date where we're going through the whole day together or whatever, or at least having a longer date. If you don't want someone, if you don't want that man, just cut that right then and there and say, hey, you know what, I don't like you like that, but I do like spending time with you, and you cute, so I might want to crack. Be honest. So at least that gives the person who you are not interested in, they can choose, okay, cool, we can still go on this or whatever, but then I'm also going to apply more pressure onto somebody who actually wants to do that. That's how you do that. And it really is unfortunate, because a lot of these people who were good women and who were good men, and who are trying to move the way of I'm moving with intention, I'm trying to be with that one person, whatever, yada yada, I'm being honest, whatever. A lot of them have been hurt, and then in turn they try to turn into a dog, and they do this, and they end up hurting people who didn't hurt them. That happens. And I feel like that's where the problem really arises. You got a lot of people who are hurt jumping back into the dating pool and then not healing from what hurt them, because if you don't heal from what cut you, you'll bleed over people who didn't cut you. Hurt people. So you got to get that out of the way before you can hop back into the field. And it might take a minute to happen, but you got to do it, baby. And it's really unfortunate, is because I say this to a lot of my women friends, who are good women, and they're out here dating, they're trying to find their person, and they ain't out here hurting nobody. They're just like, they're just extra cautious about locking it down with somebody. I say, stay firm. You are a good woman. You got a great personality. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Just keep at it like the same woman like that. They say the same thing to me. You're a good dude. Like it really does suck that you do run into a lot of these women that, are hyper transactional and they aren't honest, and that happens. But, also stay true to yourself. And that's pretty much what you got to do. You have to stay true to yourself and make sure you don't take people's anecdotal experiences with one person and, paint that over every other person, turn that into somebody that you're not, because then you're going to be miserable and you're just going to contribute to the problem. But yeah, like if you're not ready for a relationship, just deal with people who don't either want a relationship or just want something that's strictly transactional. It's fun to go out on dates with somebody and go out and hang with somebody if y'all like, hey, I don't run a relationship, you don't run a relationship, but I got needs and you got needs. I like your company, you look nice, you got a fat ass, I look nice, I'm handsome, you like the way I look, we just want to hunch on each other. Is that cool? That can be cool. You gotta tell people that, let people, it's all about consent and letting people choose if this is where they want to invest their time in. But when you try to play the game, say, oh yeah, I like you, but then you don't really like them to keep them interested, and then doing that, no matter what side is on, that's wrong. Don't do that. Don't entertain somebody when you're not interested, because you're being a user. You don't want to be a user. That ain't right, Or unless you want to use somebody who is okay with you using them for their money. If they're okay with that, and there's some rich dude who doesn't mind using you for their money, or some rich woman who doesn't mind just using you for that, for what you got or your money, and you're okay with that, by all means, go for it. But that was just my 2 cents on this. What do y'all think about the dating field? I really do feel like that's the primary issue with the dating field. It's it's a lot of dishonesty, it's a lot of lack of being genuine, it's a lot of people hiding their intentions so they can get something out of it. And that's personally what my experience with the dating field. I'm like one of the non-hyper transactional people. I'm very much like, I'm gonna tell you what it is right here. Here's on the sheet of paper, right here and here, right now. You know what's up. So are you agreeing to these terms? Are we going for that? That's me. I know a lot of people try to move like that way, but not everybody is as honest and genuine like that. Not everybody is, whether it's men or women. But what do y'all think? I want y'all 2 cents. What y'all think?